All right. Hold on. Let's stop sharing this. But But before I begin, hold on, let's look here.
We have to be careful with that, especially when it's coming from men. I think that a lot of men who are talking about us as Black females out here have a little bit more ulterior motives, even though a lot of their points, some of them are good, but some of the men sound like they have either been turned down by a woman or turned out by a man. And I'm not sure which one it is yet, so I just listen and just see. But it comes around, as I said, about every generation. Who hate us, taught us to keep us separate so they can use us for a tool and a slave. And just see, but it comes around, as I said, about every. We have to be careful with that, especially when it's coming from men. I think that a lot of men who are talking about us as Black females out here have a little bit more ulterior motives, even though a lot of their points, some of them are good, but some of them sound like they have either been turned down by a woman or turned out by a man. And I'm not sure which one it is yet, so I just listen and just see. But it comes around, as I said, about every generation. Who hate us, taught us to keep us separate so they can use us for a tool and a slave. We have to be careful with that, especially when it's coming from men. I think that a lot of men who are talking about us as Black females out here have a little bit more ulterior motives, even though a lot of their points, some of them are good, but some of the men sound like they have been turned down by a woman or turned out by a man. And I'm not sure which one it is yet, so I just listen and just see. But it comes around, as I said, about every generation. Who hate us, taught us to keep us separate so they can use us for a tool and a slave.
She's cooking.
Welcome. Welcome again, guys. Welcome again, guys. To a very special podcast / broadcast. As you know, I'm Kias right here. And this is gonna be my take and views of things as I see it fit. If you are new to this podcast / YouTube channel, hit the red button, hit the top bell to get all the uploads and notifications when I go live or I send upload on here. And also, you can now follow me on Twitter at ChaosRaider7. You could also follow me and be friends on Facebook, titled Eric Rain. I think I'll put the description on this podcast or the / YouTube channel. So be patient. What else is out here? A lot of things. I'm probably gonna start back some episodes with me and Kai, 007 on Porn Talk sometime this month or next month. So be on the lookout for that. I have some other stream uploads that I will be sending during the week. A few interviews I've done, and probably gonna seek out some more interviews for other people for this channel. So, you know, still trying to push and grind. Still have a long way to go. I don't have like a certain audience base here on YouTube yet, but it's gonna be a while. It's gonna be a while. So gotta work with me. You know, so be patient, people. It's coming. You know, the funny thing doing these episodes, that what I've learned is that things do take time. It's a constant process of work. There's not something really perfect. Some things might work a little bit and some things will never work. But in the end, if you put in more effort and work, if you're doing this type of streaming, radio, etc., you're going to have to do some things. You're going to have to put out content that people are not going to hear and it's not It's expected, it's part of the game. You gotta live with it. But there's one special message I will say personally. As chaos reign with chaos, someone has to restore the order. And if you are a person or any human being or individual, whatever you want to call yourself, these, your attention span only lasts under 4 seconds, maybe 3 now. All right, chaos right here is going to raise and increase your attention span. That's going to suffice and be much better than 3 to 4 seconds. If you are a human being that only vibrates or hear things off and only respond under that time frame, you need a lot of improvement. You have a long way to go. So as chaos ring, my mission, and it's going to be a mission that I will probably emphasize every time I'm here to raise your attention span. That's going to be greater than 3 to 4 seconds. So keep that in mind. What else is on here that I want to look at? Oh, I forgot something. Give me 1 second, people. All right, guys. So let us begin. And I'm looking for some message. Just checking last thing. There's some weird activity here. All right, let me log this out. All right, we could begin. Well, the subject, as it says in here, where is it going? The Black Master. Where is it really going? I asked this very same question. Is it going somewhere where it's going to be mainstream? Is it going to somewhere where it's going to be well relevant, where now that it's already in the minds and hearts of young and precious Black males that they're going to take this and move a step further? Where is it really going? This is what the question that Mr. Obsidian has mentioned. And I've analyzed this real carefully. Oh, and another thing, what you heard was shares out of the opinions of the Black Manosphere. And I've noticed when she made that same statement, a lot of men got in their feelings. And it lets me know saying that when we talk about the Black male in America, and we could say Black males and Black people in general as a whole, not only I think there's a coddling aspect of things, but we think and operate, move like women. Unfortunately. I don't want to admit that, but what this woman said is not some far-fetched as new. And to let everybody know, I do got her book. I never read the whole book, but I went out my way to buy the book personally. Where's this book? I'll show you. Let me show you. And the reason why I bought the book, turn this on. See? The reason why I bought the book, because I had to really look into the literature and the mind of Miss Shahrazad Ali, which is now her birthday passed a whole month ago, late April. She was born in 1954. Make her now 6-7 years old. And she said what she said, and she meant it. And she meant it in a real old fashioned. And the time where she came from in an era is that she's been around men that move like men, operate like men, etc. And not only that, you got to understand she is also a Muslim. Now, I'm not sure what Muslims are now in America. Either they're Sunni Muslims or they're actually hardcore type extremist Muslims or other categories of the art of Islam or the fruit of Islam. Nonetheless, and I think Obsidian is a Sunni Muslim. I might look at the definition of that. I can't do it now on this broadcast. That way how people operate, even Muslims now, still move a little bit the same today. They're not really much compromised. They carry themselves in a clean manner. They do view the black woman as God still because of the teachings of, I think, either Elijah Muhammad or Farrakhan. I think Farrakhan emphasized more from the teachings of Elijah Muhammad. But they know how to conduct and carry themselves like men. And they actually help and uplift and fix broken men. Men in the streets, men in jail, etc. Hell, they fix Malcolm X. So, me saying this, that she laid out her views and opinions of the black manosphere. And one thing that a lot of men have never paid attention to, when she said that, she feels that it is the role of women to check and deal with other women, and the men should be dealing with other men. And the reason why she said it out of her mouth, because that's how Nation of Islam move and roll. And I'm not going to discredit the work she has done for the past 32 years. And what I mean by 32 years, because if y'all notice, if I do a Wikipedia search engine, let's see what pulls up. Oh no. Because normally we go into the history of the woman, it's bare representation. So let me do this again. I'll leave the links to that because I don't want to just talk something people can't look for themselves. Shahrazad Ali. There we go. And let me look through this. All right, I found it. So let me share my screen for y'all to see this. And she has a catalog of books. I'm not going to go into Wikipedia. As y'all see here, these are her books so far to date. The most famous and most popular one that I showed you earlier is The Black Man's Guide to Understand the Black Woman, which every black man bought. That book came out in 1989. Now, if I click onto this, and it will not show the official cover book because this deals with select bibliography. You can find yourself. What else she wrote second to that? And oh, my fault. This was not the first book that she released. As you can look at the timetable, the very first book she actually released, How Not to Eat Pork or Live Without the Pig, 1985, 36 years ago. Then the second book that made her a known name was The Black Man's Guide to Understand Black Women. So out of all the publications she released, self-published, I believe so, last time I checked, and she was on Hidden Colors, was this book, this yellow book. And the reason why she published such a book, because she did little research for the last 2-3 years, maybe 4. And she has concluded the mentality and illness of what is labeled white supremacy on Black people and a Black woman's role into that. And how you should understand as a Black man how you must operate and maneuver in this environment, deal with this Black bitch. Or what you guys like to call this Black fucking bitch. You get it? Also, the second book, 3 years later. Actually, 3 years later. The Black Man's Guide to Understand the Black Man. The Black Woman's Guide to Say a Black Man. How many Black women bought this book? I'll wait. And I want somebody to write this in the comment section of this stream to give me feedback on that. That came out in 1992. Now, going to be 30 years next year. Next book, Are You Still a Slave? 1994. Next book, Day by Day, 1996. And the last and final publication of books. And some of these are on the bottom you see are no longer printed. I don't focus on non-print. If they're not existent, they're not existent. Was How to Tell If Your Man is Gay or Bisexual. 18 years ago, she released that book. That book, she doesn't have no longer in circulation. And the reason why you see these other two books that's not dated 2000 and that was released from either after 2003 or earlier 2000 or whatever is because these books are irrelevant. How to Prepare for the Y2K Computer Problem in the Hood, Urban Survival of the Year 2020. You know why these no longer exist? Because those dates are outdated. The information came out 20 years ago cannot be relevant today. So this is just the Wikipedia version. Y'all can read this from yourself. And she is a Taurus, as you can tell, April 27, 1954. And like I said, this is the most controversial book she wrote out of all of her, I think, 6 publications. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 publication books she released. Only 6 will still exist, except this one because I'm not sure when she's ever going to release this book again. And I'd probably give her advice, and she don't really need it because she's an older elder, that she need to release that book, How to Tell If Your Black Man is Gay or Bisexual. Because now, as you know, we have a homosexual crisis in the community, which Black people, and I say this personally to every person I come across panels, that the Black community does not give a fuck about homosexuality. How I know? Because most Black people still have friends and relatives that are gay, homosexual, etc. They don't say nothing. They don't disown them. They don't continue having friends association with. So when they talk about they use it towards the Black man, I look at them and I'll ask them a serious question. Are you friends still? Do you have friends with gay people? Are your relatives gay? That's a question you should ask me. I should ask you. Because if homosexuality is the thing that most Black people say, I'm disowning, I don't want nothing to do it, we don't want cancel, don't talk to nobody. Okay, that's fair. That's good. I like that. But are you living this life? Especially if you're a Black woman. And you know, most men, if they know if they are straight, heterosexual men don't have friends with homosexual friends. And I will even go even deeper. You should not deal with any homosexual, period, whether it is a female side or from the male side. Just to put more fuel to the fire. Well, like I said, this is not the purpose of this stream. The purpose is what is stated. Where is it going? The Black Manosphere. And let me stop this. Where is it really going? And I know a lot of dudes getting their feelings when certain individuals that they looked up to for the last 30-something years. And I get it why they look up to this woman, because she's saying certain things that, let's be honest, makes it feel good because, their mother might have failed them, which they did, or some other traumatic issues they have with women, Black women especially, which I get it. And the only way you're going to heal yourself, dude, is you're going to have to take self-reflection and go get therapy, depending on how deep you're certain disdainful, problematic with certain women in this community, which a lot of Black men are still going to be part of America. Right? People say they're no longer America. Once you got an American, what we call Social Security card, you're bound to this land. You can't neglect it. You can't throw it away. Last time I checked. Because, and to be honest with you, most people that are born in America are not going to do that. There's going to be a very small percentage that will. How you doing? A very small percentage. But we all know if you're a Black person with Black skin and come from either two Black parents or whatever you want to call you, mix, whatever you want to label it, most of the people that are Black or fall label Black, African, or whatever you want to call themselves, they come to America for one thing and one thing only, and that's for that U.S. currency. Nothing more, nothing less. Don't give me no crap and nonsense about why they're here, why they do it, why they want to go somewhere else, another country, but still want the United States, or what they call U.S. currency, still floating in their hands. And because they know the power of this U.S. currency. It's still the world reserve currency of the world for now, and it's very much slipping. We don't know where direction the United States currency is going. I'll tell you what it's going to go is that we're moving more and more into a digital currency space. The cashless system has not put in place it because they have not destroyed the dollar. Once the dollar is really destroyed, that's when you see we're going to be in cashless system. Other than that, cash rules up in this place. So, where do these content creators go from here? Where do they go from here? Where do they go from here? Oh, before I say where they eventually gonna be going, you gotta understand that the thing that I find problematic is that majority of our conversations as men is getting repetitive. I had the same conversation with Mary. And we talking about brothers trying to unify, work somewhat together to get something really going. And let's be honest, a lot of Black men in the back of their heads don't want to work with other Black men, much as give money to other Black men if they're doing anything constructive or not, overall. So when I think about the future of where they said the Manosphere is going, where they said it's going to go, to Black men that been in it for years now, I don't see no outcomes with this. Regardless if you want to protect or say, or this new moniker or this new label called say, we got to protect this person at all costs. I mean, we sound stupid out here now. And I say this personally because have the people that came in the same space that got their name notoriety have in the interest to seek out to you to protect you? Because everything is reciprocal. They want everything reciprocal from the opposite sex. Same thing goes for men. Everything we do with each other should be reciprocal to help better empower other men, especially Black men. But when other young people see this and other men that's older sees that we don't even work enough with each other, see the tangibles of being in a certain space. Not only being in a certain space, but don't want to be associated with it long term. Unfortunately. So when I see the direction where things going, I said that if they decided that somebody's going to be mainstream, if it happens, it's only that one person or two, depending how strong a person's reach is possibly going to get through the cracks of the mainstream media. Now I heard black men like Obsidian or anybody said that they don't want to be mainstream, they want to be by themselves or solid rock. That's fine. You're entitled to that. This is a free country. We're entitled to do whatever we want to get the best outcomes. But to really push a serious narrative, you're going to do either two things. Create your own actual sole proprietary media, separate from other third-party medias, and go out and see where you could accomplish and what you could reach and do. Or you have to be on another third party like a YouTube, Spotify, or any of these other outlets that we don't run, create, or control now, just to get your message put out. We all know most our people love the European, and his ice is colder than anything else. I know Black Avenger, and I did an interview with a man that created Black Avenger back in 2019. And he told me why he did it. And if people want to know that interview, it's on this channel. You're going to have to just type up Black Avenger on the Chaos Reign channel. It should pop up. I hear now that Black Avenger has been sold and bought from another person. That's now, what I'm hearing now, is now turned to some freak show. Shit. I heard that there is people putting out pornographic images. They put out, talking about sex dolls. All this fuckery. That's problematic to me. To know that it was a brother from, I don't know if DC, Maryland area that helped create the website. Now you find it turns into a real shit show. But it goes back again. Why did he sell the platform? Should be the question every man should ask. My thing why he sold it, because there's not enough, and I mean not enough Black strong content creators coming onto that same site, supporting with their money and their resource and their what do you call it? Their eyeballs, the people that watch them, tell them, say, go to here. We're gonna stream here, but the after hour we're gonna stream over there. You don't see him do that. And be fair and honest, I know most men want to make money on here. I want to make some money on here too. It'd be nice. It'd be good. But how far you have to go and do what you need to do to make that accomplishment, you're not going to do this by yourself. Oh no, that's not going to happen anytime soon. You're going to have to collaborate and work with other Black men, and other Black men have to be on the same accords with you. And somebody's going to have to lead, somebody's going to have to follow, somebody's going to sacrifice, somebody has to do something to make certain outcomes good, to make whatever platform you do to grow as it needs to be. And I think Black Avenger, which is now called some other Avengers site now, is not like that now. And it's expected. I think the same issue happened with Blogspot. And if I type it up now, I'm not sure if the site still exists. And one time when I started doing, what do you call it? Content on YouTube, I was putting in a description to support the Blogspot. I kind of took a step back. Now, I think great doing it now. Now that I think of the outcomes we see now as men doing media on here in this particular platform, that I should have kept promoting it anyway. Because let's be honest, Black male media and actual content that people that create their own websites to have for our own is not being circulated. It just ain't. And will never be. Unfortunately. And it's sad at the end of the day. I expect a little bit more to this. I expect we should be more ahead than we are now as men. Whether you're a part of this group or not, we should be better and doing more. But we're going to still have the same stagnant conversations. We might make some money here and there, but it doesn't go nowhere. It doesn't go nowhere. And to be fair and honest, it's not even to a lot of Black men when they talk about it's not really sustainable and it's not profitable. You notice a lot of content creators that were focused only on men constructively to get your image right, maybe your money right, your health, all that. And when you look at the whole, when you think about it, a lot of men that has content that's doing something that will help you in the betterment of yourself, you barely see any man, especially black men, support it. And trust me, I've seen it firsthand. Seen it firsthand. And the saddest thing about all this, and I remember I was watching a stream about Alonzo. What's good? I saw a stream from Alonzo Hall, and he's the insurance man, which he talking about the life insurance, whole life, either your live, living life, or insurance when you possibly die. Nonetheless, that's the only outcome that people don't really take advantage more and says I'm paying this insurance just to die. No, insurance is for the living on the average because death is certain, but the money you put in, it depending on how you set your life insurance, you could use to as a bank with interest to get yourself from where position you are into a more better position financially. With just little as under $100 or maybe more than $100 a month, which is not a lot. Like how we pay car insurance, any other insurance, you add that all that, you pay all that stuff and you don't get nothing in return. Maybe if you pay a car insurance, if you pay full coverage and something happen, you might get something out of that deal, but you don't get nothing great. But with the insurance, the whole life insurance, you will get something back in return. I remember an elder confronted me years ago about whole life insurance. I never took advantage of it at the time because I wasn't thinking like that during my 20s. But now when I think back then now, I should have. Because that, if I'd have put in some money a little bit back then at a reasonable price, it would have worked out in the long run. So the purpose I'm telling y'all this is that we as black men, we're not taking things a little seriously. We're not looking into the outcomes of the long term of things. And I think that's going to hurt us in the long run. And it's going to hurt us. And we're going to pay greatly dearly for this. I expect much better for a lot of our people, especially us men, because I see we have a lot of potential to do better and to get whatever platform we're doing, and we're trying to push a narrative to make it much bigger than it should be. And it should be bigger. A lot of things that happen to us systematically. Voicing the opinion is one step of hoping to correct problem. The other step is the action part. You hear Ike always say that you should not be always stagnant. You should always take action, do things now. And I think a lot of us men, we don't take more action of certain things. So we do stay stagnant and comfortable like this fucking black woman. Because women only operate in comfort. That's why you see them go out their best interest, willing to slow down movements or anything that black men's trying to accomplish on the average, besides white male interference, like Charles Faulkner said. And let's be fair and honest. Oh, hold on. Sorry, guys. I don't like stagnation for a long term or a long period of time. We always got to constantly keep moving, keep the foot on the pedal. And if you feel that this system, we're in that the stagnation won't affect us long term, you're sadly mistaken. Anytime the white people get that common cold, the flu, and everybody is trying to grab for power up for reach. They trying to keep things in order while keeping you behind, stagnant, and you know the rest. My thing is this. the only future I see with this so-called sphere is, if not careful, once they start commercializing this YouTube thing more, I see more content creators that are labeled Black Manosphere. I see them eventually going to be pushed out. And they're going to, because we don't run this site. We participate in the site and put our own content for our own views, but in regards to actual control, no, that's not in there. And let's be honest, with a lot of these Black women that say talk cash shit about Black men, their time is going to be cut too on the site as well too, because YouTube is a business, people. And in business, the betterment of business is it has to cater their bottom line. And it's more feasible to run and create streams, commercials, even TV and movies that cater to this function of our race while uplifting theirs in a way where they make the money and we don't see none of that. That's why you see him push the ratchet music as it is, the videos, certain women as way, because the sex not only sells, but it keeps people single and degenerate. When we talk about Black relationships, that is profitable. Who benefits when Black man, Black woman constantly keep fighting and we're separate? We don't benefit from it. We'll make money off our dysfunction, but we don't really make the serious money like these people that have revenues, avenues, and outlets that promote it and promote it to not only us as adults, but to our children. So it keeps this stupid nonsense cycle going. So when we look at it, that at the end of the day, we don't win, we lose, because the money doesn't stay with us. It stays in our hands for a few seconds, goes out to them. Wholesale, without any effort. No work, no pun intended. So, hold on. All right. All right. So, what are the solution parts of things that most Black men have been advocating, saying lately? What should the spirit do move forward? Or where does it go from here? Well, the only place that a Black male media is going to take serious, which I think some men that got their shit together will take serious, is few things. If you have a stronger channel, roughly if you're pushing roughly 25K or greater, and I would say screw it. If you're able to get a certain audience and you're pushing roughly more than 50K and you have not shown yourself on YouTube, maybe it's time you start focusing on that and do so. Start camming up. And when I mean by cam up, you're going to have to look and carry yourself. You're going to go further in this to push your channel to a more bigger level. That's going to probably be the next step for major Black content creators, Black male content creators. I'm seeing most of the setup for a lot of brothers that got a little money and they set up their room, their basement, or wherever studio if they can afford it. It don't cost much money to set up a system properly where you have to look real spectacular. You just want to look decent enough just to get started, get your foot on the door. Hell, most Black men, we might have to start, or anybody that has a stronger channel might have to start buying those green screens, like those things, that curtain thing that they pull down, and have some background art if needed. And that's just lowballing on the low end. And this goes to people that got thousands of subscribers. Now, obviously, y'all know my philosophy. For anybody that's been doing this for more than 5 years, and you got 100K subscribers and no one doesn't know who you are, who you see, what you look like, yeah, I don't take you too seriously long term. Also, watch and hear your channel, but overall, when you message and all stuff talking about you this and that, I don't take serious because no one doesn't know you. And normally with Black content creators, on the average, there are very few Black content creators that's pushing 1 million subscribers. That's talking about some serious issues and talking about not only women, but what Black men should be doing. You don't seen it, and you have not seen it yet. I know Mr. Samuels is going to be the first one doing this now in the next few weeks once he pushes 1 million subscribers. But I think he's going to be one of a very small percentage of male content creators on here that's going to do it. I would say most dudes that are already cam up and they don't got 1,000 subscribers or have 1,000 subscribers, kudos to you. Only thing now move forward is how you present your content now. I mean, people know who you look like, what's your message, what you stand on. The only thing for you moving forward as a male content creator, if you're already camming up and you're under 1,000 or more than 1,000 subscribers, is to present your content as clear as possible, as make sure you look decent enough and all this stupid shit, and that will make your channel grow even faster. Not many of us that don't cam up that have either 1,000 or less or close to, what's the number? Maybe over 25K subscribers showing anything of significance. But to really take this on another level, you're going to have to eventually show yourself to be really serious. I don't see nobody that's putting out content on YouTube that we have never seen what they look like and have real strong channels. To be fair, honest, I could YouTube and I could type in now any content creator that never shows face. I guarantee most people that show face have over 100K or more subscribers, at least. I heard rumors that some people have done it and not shown their face. I'm saying right now that's bullshit. Because let's be honest, YouTube has made a way where people think that this is a good or strong channel, but when you hide your subscriber counts, no one doesn't know. They'll see your content and they'll like it as is, but all the other relevance, this person not serious. The ones that watch the channel and know YouTube and watch content creators and see the difference between our channels and everybody else, as they know the seriousness of what we put in our channels. And let's be honest. I know a lot of people do radio, and I've done radio briefly years ago. And I'm telling you personally, radio is a dead entity right now. Because now we're moving more and transition to visuals now. People want to see things now. We are beyond things where back in the 30s, 40s, or any other form of podcast from white people that's doing podcasting, doing what we call fashion radio. A lot of people now are taking it now into the digital realm where now you've seen the studio, you've seen them interact, their expressions, etc. That I see is actually the future of radio podcasting. It's already here from what I'm saying right now. And I see it's going to continue to grow as the years progress, as we move now into the 5G arena of faster internet. We're going to see more automated things. I see more of artificial intelligence play more into a lot of things we do. Even to the point where you might see those things like the Jarvis effect from Iron Man with the scanners and all that shit. You're going to see how that play into how we do media. Hell, you're going to see things like the super holographic touchscreen image. And trust me, people, they got that. They do have it. Don't be fooled. So, do not be fooled. One other thing. When DJ Kudu talking about the sound quality and the equipment that people should be using more on if they're broadcasting, either on podcast or YouTube, a lot of us men, we don't really take that in consideration. And the reason we won't take it into consideration because we want to hear it from another black man telling us what the hell we should be doing. And I'm saying personally, we should be taking the quality of sound much more personal and get our feelings. But it goes back again, we don't want to hear it from another black man. We'll sure hear it from maybe a non-black man. Possibly. I say possibly. But overall, you know, he's right. The sound quality has to be better. I struggle with sound quality doing the podcast on the other channel I do. I think I figured it out now how to get the right sound so my voice is clear enough. And maybe I have to talk more slowly. I do talk fast. But, and I noticed this not only from my perspective, how I go about doing my broadcast, but I noticed other content creators talk too fast, like Boyce Watkins. He is intelligent in his way, but when he delivers his message, overall, his mouth moves too fast. And one thing, if I'd give him advice, he has to slow down the pace of when he talks. Because I remember when I come across this black man 3 years ago or 4 years ago, that was one of the issues, me following his pace of how fast he talks. But now because he's settled down, he's married now, he's in a different direction now. So, like I said, for most of us doing it for a long time, we had to take appreciation and more respect to the quality of sound. But if you're just sitting there just using a computer, using the mic of the computer, you only go so far. You only go so far. So one moment, people. All right, I am back. So that's my suggestion, and you can say advice. Oh, one other thing I do want to say, a lot of black men need to stop beefing on YouTube. In regards talking about, once friends with one person that you had on one channel, and now their channel has grown to a proportion that's better than yours, that you complain about you can't get in touch with them. Only thing I will say to that is you got to get over it. And the reason why I say you got to get over it, because sorry to tell you that most of us men, we will take advantage of each other just to come up. And that's a mental illness in itself. That a lot of us like to use each other and want something for nothing. And I had the same conversation with Mary about, we want something for less, maybe free, from another black man without putting no outcomes in works. And once we get what we want, you don't hear from us again. And that's something that a lot of black men got to be very cautious and be aware of. Be very aware of. Yes, be very aware of. Too many of us do that, and that's something that we could improve on. So, like I said, I would say be cautious when you're doing any man or any person that's trying to look for maybe they'll come up, or they're looking for just another outlet to, draw audience. I know one content right now is complaining about it now. Y'all know who I'm talking about. And I don't hold no bars on that. I don't hold no shame to that. I expect it as is. And I respect the game. And, maybe I should do a stream on that alone, I'm probably thinking about it, but I'm eventually going to come around and do it anyway. Because let's be fair and honest. Malcolm X has been saying this for some time now, that you should not be looking to any person that is a potential celebrity to get any informal information about liberation, about the system, etc. I mean, black people live in America. They know what the system is. I think they're pretty much clear on it now. If not, I'm sorry to tell you that you have you're either your parents fail or people that you're around close to that's not telling you the real game or the honest truth. So yeah. Oh damn. So like I said before, at the end of the day, that when you're dealing with brothers, you're only gonna get as far as the commitment other black men are gonna hold towards each other. And as you know, from what I'm seeing, and we're talking about this epidemic of single motherhood or lack of fathers or any masculine men presence around a lot of these dudes for guidance, respect, honor, and stuff, I don't see it overall. I just don't see it. And I'm not shaming the brothers that do show some integrity or honor, respect. If they're there and they do it, kudos to you. But the average black men say don't really have that with other black men. So when we talk about the growth of where this direction of the manosphere is going, all I see right now, the direction is going to be barbershop talk and stagnation. And that's just the honest truth as a man speaking personally. And I don't want to really say it like that, but I got to keep it real and honest because we're not being honest with ourselves. And we know the dangers when you're not honest with yourself, you're going to lead to problems, some big problems. So I guess someone has no saying, don't want to come up. That's cool. Let me see what's going on here. Check the comment sections. Yeah, people just listening, watching. So that's good. All right, that's good enough. So I guess that's my little take on things. Oh, there was also another audio video or something about what Sarah Ali on the so-called Save Yourself Black Man. And I find that very interesting from her view and expected because, like I said before, she is a Muslim. She is more of the empowerment of black people, black men, black women. So she will not say anything that is pretty much a problematic to the community already. So what does she say about, let me see if I can find it, about these men that want to save themselves from her perspective, what she views it?
Well, I would say that that's the closest way to suicide if they really feel like that. See, because if there's no you, there's no me. There's no me, there's no you. I'm the only thing on earth that can reproduce you, okay, in the cleanest form that's possible. And you are the only thing on earth that can impregnate me to create yourself. And so that we're going to just put each other, not seek a solution. It's just suicide. Our birth rates are already low. So at a time when we should try to get along for more than one night, I'm not talking about no one night stand, I mean in a regular relationship, we should be trying to get along. We should be teaching our children to get along. See, my new market today, brother, is the children of the parents who I tried to reach 30 years ago. Well, I would say that that's the closest way to suicide if they really feel like that. If they really feel that's the closest way to suicide. I would say that that's the closest way to suicide. I would say that that's the closest way to suicide. I would say that that's the closest way to suicide.
Now, her mission, as you know, as a black woman, a Muslim, her message is not really for every person after they reach a certain age. She focused on ones that were born, particularly millennials, and we could say Generation Z's, is the direction she's going now with whatever content she's trying to put out for black people. And just that snippet alone, she said, it is leading to suicide. And we already know that the first thing of insanity is self-annihilation. Now, some people say they can find other black people outside America, which I have no doubt there are some black people still outside America. But what type of black person are you searching? Should be the question. Because we all know, as men and women, we all know the game, the drill. Black is evil. Black is ugly. Black is all the above. Matter of fact, black means death to these so-called Eurocentrics that wrote in their stupid books and try to emphasize the negativity of being black. So black means death. Also, what do you think as a young black male that's a Gen Z going to do? Or a later millennial going to do? We're going to correct that. And we shall and we will correct it by any means necessary. And I've noticed with a lot of black women, they tell me say that they could produce a male without I don't know what they call parthenogenesis or some stupid shit about saying, I can reproduce you without you is insanity. I hear a lot of female content creators mention that shit. And when I hear that dumb shit, I say, you are dumb as hell, bitch. You are saying you need your head examined. You are not fucking Mary of Jesus Christ and Latter-day Saints. You are not going to sit there and lay on your back and all of a sudden some mysterious thing going to inseminate you. No, you're going to have to look for a sperm donor. You're going to be going to the sperm banks. And I never talked about this personally. Matter of fact, I'm going to leave that alone because I could tell you how few short stories what I've come across on that. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm just going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave that alone. But like I said, when I hear women start talking like that, what more to talk about? I don't know what to do with that. Do you? I don't know what to do with that. So, like I said before, some men are gonna say they're gonna save themselves, and that's cool. I don't know where you're gonna save yourself from. I've been emphasizing that for years now. Because let's be honest, men, we are designed to deal with the toughness of the environment. We can handle the stress. We could deal with it. You get me? Women are not designed to handle this fucking stress. How I know? Because when you have women do more when they can't do, or they quote unquote say they're strong and independent, this result you get. Unfortunately. And a woman can't do everything, unfortunately. They could sit there and go woo-wah, rah-rah, and say black girl magic, I'm strong and independent, that bullshit. No, you're dependent on somebody. If you're in a relationship, an actual relationship, that's marriage, and your mate requires you to do certain things, you can't do it, and you want to leave out of it, that tells you you're not strong at all. I tell most black women, stop using that word strong. You're not that strong. At least people back in decades ago that either had to be in a marriage or they had no choice and they can't separate, they know how to adapt very well. These modern women today can't adapt to shit, much as can and boil an egg. So it is what it is. So that's all I'm going to say on here. I think I answered the question personally, verbatim, what you want to call it. And let's hope I'm wrong. I say let's hope. But from what I'm seeing, the outcomes right now for a lot of us in this community, or even doing these streams, these podcasts, these channels and stuff, talking about we need our own media, I'm just going to sit back and see how serious we really want it as men. And to take this at a bigger level, you're going to have to be uncomfortable. You cannot stay in the shadows and talk your shit and think you get the outcome. That's not going to work. Especially using a third party platform. You're going to have to be revealed. You're going to have to reveal yourself one way or the other. You're going to have to stay firm on your mission, what you stand on, all that stuff. If not, let's be honest, you're not serious. Matter of fact, they'll look at you as bitches and look at you as cowards that you don't stand on nothing. And at the end of the day, a black man should stand on something. Not willing to filter and go as far as telling their fucking face. And if there's any consequence, well, you got to experience pain to create something new. You're going to have to experience a little stress or a little resistance to produce something. Don't run away from the stress. Stress is good at the end of the day. A lot of black men don't want to hear that, but it is. I hear people that's 40 years old and older said they can't deal with stress and all that. I say you have not known shit yet. I mean, if you're stressed and constant stress, that means you have not produced something to alleviate the stress. Because the stress is always going to exist, it's going to be here. It's how you're going to deal with it properly. And coping with it and trying not to say, I'm not going to deal with it at all, will not benefit you. Hell, this Caucasoid that black men don't want to talk about, he deals with stress on an everyday basis because he has to try to maintain his authority and power on this soil. And as time progresses, his stress is only going to increase. So you better learn to deal with it, how to create some out of nothing during this uncomfortable situation and become very much productive. So that's all I'm going to say. So, if you like this podcast, this video, etc., you can subscribe to Chaos Reign now. Make sure you hit that red button. Make sure you turn on that notification button. Hit the top bell, ding, the top bell. Also, you can now follow me on Twitter at Chaos Reign 7. And I'm going to eventually have like a little short website to the show eventually. And also I'm also on Anchor, Spotify, Breaker, etc. Season 2 is still being put up as we speak, and some other other shows on there for people to listen on their phones or the electronic device, etc. And that's pretty much it. I'd like to thank everybody for listening to this stream. Like always, catch me on the next stream. Until next time, you know where to find me. You know where it is. Chaos reigns.